wow.
It'll take a it's saying here that I'm live, so. See if it freezes or not. Of course, we were okay back there at first. Yeah, I got 4, but well, 3 or 4. It's better here than up there, and this is far enough away to make a difference. I wonder if there's a different place we could sit looking up on a hill or something and looking down.
Yeah, we're on live.
Okay.
It's buffering already.
Buffering already. Okay, so the issue is this thing then. Oh, yeah? Okay. Yeah, well, 77 years ago, our forefathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men were created equal. I wish I knew the rest of the Gettysburg Address, but that's all I know.
And in 2023, we had, and 3 old people could figure out how to start a YouTube channel.
Well, we prayed, remember?
Well, we got support, Diane.
Yeah. Thankfully, Rebecca's here, and she can get the message out. That was God's gift to us.
Yes.
So this is going out too, but there's nobody watching it, which just doesn't. I don't know what
Rebecca's
that means.
is working on We the People MAGA right now. It's on.
That's her channel. Okay.
It looks like there's 2 lives open when you check on her channel, but you can't. One of them's dead. Look out for how many viewers are on it. The one with like 70, 80 people on it. That's the one that's currently live and streaming. And she doesn't seem to be having a problem. Our mod Kim, there she is. Hey Kim, says
she's on this one.
You need a jetpack booster.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either, Kim. We don't know what that is.
We'll find out.
All right, we'll find out.
See, this is a free one from the library. That's what, and it uses T-Mobile. It doesn't use. So, but I thought
that's a booster.
This is just a Wi-Fi hotspot. It gets the cell signal and sends out Wi-Fi. I don't know if it's, maybe you call that a booster, but I can't afford one of my own because you know it's like I don't know how many $50 a month or something.
Oh, it's a monthly subscription.
And this is just a week's checkout for free. But I can get one from a different library. But if it's not working, we're not going to use it.
You don't need data to record. So, all right.
Oh, really? You don't need data to record?
Right. So I'm thinking if we just keep this going, whether or not it looks like it's going out, we'll be able to post it once we're done.
Oh.
And then, I mean, people won't be able to chat live. You know, it's not live.
So she said that. Don't need data to record.
Diane did. Yeah.
Oh, that's news to me.
Yeah, because I think your computer's recording.
Oh, right in real time, right from right here. Well, I'll shut it down and then we'll go back over there.
We'll just keep it on.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah,
sounds good.
It should work.
But how do you record it? Ask her how to record it. Oh, it's doing it automatically, right?
What?
Recording.
I think so.
Because you said as soon as I shut it down, it went back into.
Yeah, it went to jump to the beginning, and now that's our first video. Okay.
Oh, I've got a lot to learn on this stuff.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too, dude. So now we got, I don't know, that up.
Okay, which we should go in and delete that at some point because you don't want that on your channel.
Yeah. And really, I mean, it's working right here. We're not jumping around. We're not buffering much.
Yeah. See, I've got 3 to 4 bars here. And how many do you? Oh, you still got you got 1 or 2. Yeah. It's a little bit better.
So it's working over here.
You want to try with the cell phone to do the live stream with the cell phone.
We could, but he doesn't have enough signal. Do you want to try yours? But you don't have unlimited data, do you?
I don't. I have no idea how to use my cell phone.
You have the password for the YouTube? Get on the YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can try.
But we don't want to max his data out if he's.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Because well, in other words, if you use all your monthly data, then you'll be sunk.
Yeah.
He restarted, and it seems to be working here. It's not buffering down here.
There's more signal over here.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we can't move down here now. We're set up there. As long as you're live streaming, that's all that matters.
Yeah, yours is on.
Yeah.
So let's just try moving the computer.
Yeah, we'll bring it back. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
And for taking 2 hits of someone else's weed inside a center prosecutor's office over 2.5 years, or almost 2.5 years ago. So I've honestly lost a lot of respect for the courts, the criminal justice system. Otherwise I'd have it would essentially be Stockholm syndrome. But yeah, I'm not honestly in the greatest positive of moods, so I'm sorry. I don't want to bring anybody down with that. But I mean, it's just to a point of where this is absolutely ridiculous at this point. We're well beyond the absolute ridiculous point. And I'm just excited for all the good what I assume is all the good that's going to come, so long as Biden doesn't ruin this country even more to the point of no repair. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But regardless, I hope my negativity doesn't kind of bring you guys down. I thank you guys for being out there. We can't all. I'm not always.
Thank you.
I like to try to be positive. But yeah, it's just sometimes irritating when you got family members dying in here, and you're in here for absolutely ridiculous reason. But again, thank you guys for being out there. It definitely helps bring some sanity and some good feeling for us when we're kind of going through low times. So
Well, that's what we're out here for.
It appears to be working right.
yeah. Anyhow,
This call is from a federal prison.
yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna send somebody else on. So yeah.
Okay.
I normally don't like to talk when I'm not in a super happy mood. So
Yeah, I'm like that too.
Understand. Not a
Yeah.
not a problem.
yeah, thank you. All right, have a good night, guys.
God
Thank you
bless
again.
you, Patriot.
God bless you,
Thank you.
Brandon.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, bye.
Bye.
That was
Okay, you
James Grant. I'll do the next one. Give you a break.
James is doing pretty good. His trial's not till October, so he's
Wow.
not going anywhere. Brandon's in August, so he's not going anywhere. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. Tina, do you have unlimited data on your
I
phone?
don't.
Yeah.
No. In fact, I'm probably like just borderline my last 10%.
Steve or Tina can't do it.
Well, we got a little break here between phone calls. I wouldn't mind mentioning. Freedom Corner's been going on for over 270 days now, right?
Something like
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of effort from a lot of people. It takes equipment. It takes knowledge. It takes time. Takes money. And
Because
you can
they
donate
don't have
to
unlimited data.
A4 Justice to keep that going down in D.C. D.C. is not the only place where this fight is happening at. These January 6 prisoners are all over the country in different prisons. Some of them have been sentenced already. They're in Texas, they're in Colorado, Florida. There's a prison there. The Patriot Freedom Project, Patriot Mail Project will clue you into where they are, who's there, what they've been charged with, if they've been charged already. There's a DOJ website that has pending charges and a record of all J6ers that have been prosecuted so far that is available for anybody to look up. There's lots of ways to get information. I didn't find it very easy because I'm not savvy on the computer, but I was able to do it, and we are able to attempt to start up a YouTube channel here. We need more YouTube people. The mainstream media has left us all hanging here. Everyone's dying for news on what's going on at the border, and it isn't on NBC right now. It isn't on CNN right now. The news is on Oreo Express right now and First Responders Media right now. They are down there filming exactly what's going on. And that's the way you're going to have to get your news now, because the mainstream media is lying to you, folks. It's been going on for a long time. We got to get out of our denial and just find other sources for our news and stop scoffing at people that make fun of you for not watching the mainstream news. It's not real news. They're making stories up. They're lying directly to you. Our leaders are lying to us. And the only source is a person on the ground where the action is happening. So right now we're on the ground in Lewisburg. There's 18 or 20 guys in this prison right now. Stuart Rhodes is he was convicted several months ago. He's been waiting on his sentencing, and they're talking about giving this guy 25 years for being at the Capitol on January 6th. This guy stood up for our integrity during the November election, and we just wanted our leaders to take a 10-day look at that problem, and they wouldn't even do that. So we had there was a couple over 100 of them wanted to take the 10-day pause, which is in the rule book. It's in the Constitution. That's what they're supposed to do if somebody senses that there was something wrong with that election. They did not do that. And then J6 was a setup. There's all kinds of evidence on that out there now. If you just skip one football game and spend that amount of time looking up J6 videos, you're going to find what happened. Thanks for being here, Patriots.
Press 5 to block this call. You may begin speaking now.
Hello, is this Roy?
This is Roy. Hello, Stuart.
Hey, how are you doing, Roy?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Not bad under the circumstances, doing all right.
I hear you're going
Who's
to
out
be.
there with you?
I've got myself, Tina, Steve, and Rebecca from Virginia.
Oh, well, tell them all thank you for coming out. Appreciate it.
I hear you're
What
going
were
to
you
be
saying?
moving. You're going to be moving soon. Do I understand that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we're being sentenced, us oath keepers are being sentenced on May 25th. So we're being taken back towards D.C. We don't know where to exactly, but that's why they're doing that.
Yeah.
And after that, we'll go wherever we're going. So yes, that's a fact.
Yeah. So well.
So go ahead.
I was going to say we'll miss you here. We'll miss talking to you. But the place you really need to be is home with your family. But may God guide you and bless you with a good place wherever the next stop is.
Right. Well, I mean, we have no illusions about the outcome. So we're political prisoners. We know that this is all part of the agenda to maximize J6 and turn it essentially into the Reichstag fire, American style. So the Reichstag fire in 1933 is when the German parliament burned to the ground. And that was, of course, blamed on the communists, and the Nazis used that as their excuse to set aside civil liberties and begin to persecute all political opponents, not just communists.
Yes.
Historians now believe that the Nazis set up this themselves to give themselves a justification. And so that's what's going on with January 6th. So he's doing the same thing with January 6th. There was no insurrection that day. That was a protest against an unlawful and unconstitutional election. That's something I want to stress to people is that you had a legitimate grievance on January 6th. You still do. We still have a constitutional crisis. That's the one thing I would say about President Trump's CNN town hall. He did a fantastic job, except that when she kept on hammering him and saying that there was no fraud, he should have said, actually, they broke state law, they violated state law in the name of COVID, they just set it aside and arbitrarily made up new rules not passed by the legislature. And that violated Article 2, which mandates that the legislature shall determine the manner in which the electors are selected. So he should have said this is illegal and unconstitutional, and yes, it was fraudulent. Thing is, when you destroy and violate the laws that are meant to expose fraud, it makes it much more difficult to detect and expose it. Destroy the laws that are the ability to track it. That's what he should have said. So I would encourage those out there who have any kind of in touch with him to just emphasize that he should, very much like he did on his statement that he gave after he was indicted in New York. He did talk about the illegality and constitutionality. He did the exact same thing. Anytime any of these moderators pressure him.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. I've sent some messages to President Trump already, but of course, I'm sure he gets more insight.
Right.
You never know if he reads them or not, but it's worth a try. It is.
It's like Horton Hears a Who, but no, I think really, if he only did what he did the night he was indicted in New York, the first one over the nonsense record keeping thing, I think that statement was fantastic. He touched on it very quickly. That it violated state law, that made it unconstitutional. But so whoever's prepping him for his debates and town halls and speeches now should be making sure he hits those points, because that's a big lie. They always come back with there was no fraud was proven and there was no fraud, and all the courts ruled against you. The Supreme Court of the United States did not take that case. They were supposed to under their original jurisdiction when Texas sued Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
That's original jurisdiction. They're the trial court. and I think 20 other states joined in with Texas. It was going to be like Bush v. Gore was.
This call is from a federal prison.
The case to decide the election. And unfortunately, though, the Supreme Court of the United States, unlike in Bush v. Gore, did not do its duty and ducked its own jurisdiction and just declined to take it.
They just punted. I think, yeah, they were scared.
Pardon?
It seems like they just punted because they were afraid.
Possibly, but that's not, that's not what their oath says. Their oath doesn't say support and defend the Constitution unless I'm scared, just like mine didn't say that when I was a paratrooper.
Absolutely. So
there's no excuse. And Alito and Thomas, to their credit, this is part of the reason why they're going after Thomas heavily, is they said, hey, hold on a second, this is under our original jurisdiction. We have no discretion to not hear this case. We are the trial court. We're not the appellate court when a state sues another state. We're the trial court. And there's no other court to hear it. So, but unfortunately, through this constitutional crisis, we're still there. But I think it's important for us to recognize where we are. Frankly, this is a worldwide fight between communism, totalitarian, I guess you can call it Mussolini-style corporate fascism on one side. That's what China's like now. It's like a merger between communism and Mussolini-style fascism, which is no surprise. It's all totalitarian. This is a worldwide fight. This is a worldwide communist takeover across the planet. In Brazil, in France, in Canada, in New Zealand, you see it over and over again. Fights in Italy. It's everywhere in the West. They're trying to destroy the Western countries from the inside out. That's what's happening.
I couldn't agree more. And may God help us and be with us, help all of us to be on our toes, to be aware, to do the very best we can. May He guide us, because the task is overwhelming.
Right.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. And for me, of course, I'm a strong Christian Bible study every night here at 7 p.m. And of course, in the end, it's up to God, and we rely on Him to strengthen us so that we can persevere. So at the end, we could say we ran the race, and we fought the good fight, like
Amen.
Paul said. Amen. But I also looked at Solzhenitsyn as a model for a political prisoner who, in the end, this is the famous Soviet dissident. He helped destroy the Soviet Union in the end, take down the evil empire by exposing it when he wrote the Gulag Archipelago. But I wrote a really awesome essay. I encourage you all to go read, called "To Live Not by Lies." He wrote that in 1974 when he was still living in the Soviet Union. And in it, he says that the regime relies on lies. It demands from us only obedience to lies and daily participation in lies. All loyalty lies in that. And he said, and that's the first key to self-liberation. Personal non-participation in lies. Though lies conceal everything, though lies embrace everything, we'll be obstinate in the smallest of matters. Let them embrace everything, but not with any help from me. That's the easiest thing to do, the most devastating for the lies, because when people renounce lies, it simply cuts short their existence. Like an infection that can exist only in a living organism. So let us refuse to say that which we do not think. The first step. So the next step, of course, is to speak truth. Speak truth to power. And that's why I commend President Trump, because he continues to stick to his guns that the 2020 election was stolen. He is correct. And yet, you still see the lies. So it's like a drumbeat, constant drumbeat of telling you a big, massive lie, gaslighting, and it's projection. They're the ones who committed insurrection. That election was a coup. So it's important for all of us to make sure we speak the truth and we demand that of anyone in a leadership position.
Absolutely, Stuart. That was well said. I have read that essay by Solzhenitsyn. I encourage everyone to read it because it's short, but it's powerful. And if I remember, he goes on to say certain things that you might not have the strength to stand up and openly oppose the regime, but you can refuse to go along with them. He listed a whole bunch of simple ways. And
Yes. That's right. So even under a oppressive regime, that's why it was his first step. Just don't participate. If they spoke out, they would be sent to the gulag, but just don't participate. Silent non-participation. Basically silent civil disobedience without even speaking. But yes, we're not quite there yet. I encourage Americans to still use their voice, although they are trying to criminalize free speech.
Yes.
In my case, in the case of the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys, they demonized us and put us in prison basically for our free speech. And that's what they're going to keep doing, and they're going to indict President Trump. It's coming. Everyone needs to get ready for that. Get your minds, your hearts, your spirits ready for that fight. It's coming. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. That's the whole point of magnifying the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys into the boogeyman they made us into, which we did nothing on that day that was actually illegal.
Every single one of you has been found guilty, if I understand right.
Oh, of course. In front of a D.C. jury, they could find a MAGA hat guilty. You're never going to get a fair trial. Yeah, like the old saying that a grand jury wants out a ham sandwich. Well, a D.C. jury, a trial jury, will find a MAGA hat guilty because you're MAGA. Because Orange Man bad.
Yes.
You know, so you're not going to get a fair trial. It's like two Americas. There's the Constitutional Republic America, and there's the Communist America. And D.C. is the capital of Communist America. President Trump said that New York City is probably the worst place for a Trump supporter to be on trial. Is incorrect. D.C. is actually the worst place.
Yeah, yeah. With New York probably following second.
This call is from a federal prison.
Pardon?
With New York or California following second, yeah.
Oh, sure. Well, anywhere. My point is that anywhere there's a leftist enclave, you're never going to get a fair trial. Your free speech is considered a crime. Everything that you believe in, your lawful gun possession is considered a crime. All the things that you believe in, your Christianity is considered a crime. You're considered a criminal because of who you are. It's an identity crime. You know, it's the old Soviet saying, "Well, show me the man, I'll show you the crime."
Yes.
That's how it is now. So if you're a Trump supporter, you're automatically guilty. They just haggle over what they're going to nail you with, but you're going to get nailed with something. And the same goes for President Trump. So just get ready for it. You know, make sure that we have our hearts and minds prepared for that.
Absolutely. It's important to prepare the hearts and minds. That way it doesn't take you by surprise. You're less likely to do or say foolish things, but to do things that count.
Right. But then, you know, here's the thing, though, is that there's still 100 million of us that are no longer susceptible to their brainwashing. That's why all they can do now is try to intimidate and suppress us. Don't let them do that to you. Make sure you all stand up. Make sure you show courage. And like Soltis was saying, he does give a really good list of things you can do. And those are meant to strengthen people and get them to start exercising their courage muscles, their resolve. And the same goes for you. Make sure that you have small victories every day, the things that you stand up and what do the bad guys not want me to do today? Go do that thing.
Yeah, amen.
That's right.
Yeah, don't let them cower you. So that's what they're trying to do. And of course, they'll send out their snitches, they'll send out their infiltrators and provocateurs. Just be wise as serpents and aware of the traps. You know, just be aware they'll be sending out moles. Expect them. They're going to be there. There's going to be infiltrators. There'll be undercover agents, not just from the FBI, but also from DHS.
Oh yeah.
So, but you know, let's make sure that everything you do is above reproach. But just understand that broader MAGA movement, more of you will be going to prison. It's not going to stop here. It's going to keep going. Just understand that and be courageous. If someone gets arrested, don't desert them. Come to their aid, circle up, and lock shields. Make sure that you stand up for them and support them. So,
Amen.
yeah.
That's what we're learning.
All right, brother. I'll let you go. You guys have a good night, and God bless all of you, and thank you for your support. Appreciate you all, okay?
Yep,
As
you
always.
too, Stuart.
Great talking with you, Stuart.
All right. God bless.
God
Bye-bye.
bless.
That was Stuart Rhodes. Sounding pretty good, doing his Bible studies. I wonder what he's studying about right now. Always like to know what people are studying at the time. But that is one way to keep your head on straight, folks. Get into the scriptures. God gave, that's the instruction manual for life right here. Unfortunately, Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and we got to know evil. That evil is here to wake us up and get us moving here. We've let our country go too far, folks. It's been happening in small increments for as long as I've been alive. Kennedy was, the information's out about Robert Kennedy. They tried to seal the information for 50 years. That's been released. Joe Biden has not allowed some of that information to be released now. It's a known fact that Lee Harvey Oswald was an associate of the CIA at the time. It's shocking, people. You want your eyes open? Check out what Robert Kennedy Jr. is saying. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is saying right now. He's running for, or he's looking to run for the Democrat nomination in the presidential election, but he is all over Anthony Fauci, the CIA. They murdered his uncle, his dad.
Yep.
I think he's been waiting for a long time to come out with some information and get things done. We got to do some things with the government. Kevin McCarthy, you're in charge, man. You're in charge right now, man. You told us you were going to release the January 6th videos. You gave Tucker Carlson access to those videos. He made one video of one J6er, and look what happened. He's gotten taken out of prison now. He's in a halfway house, and the American people got to see the evidence for one of these prosecutions. That's it, and it was overturned. So Kevin McCarthy, we need access to that footage right now. What are you waiting for? It's been 100 days. It's been more than 100 days for you. You said when we were electing you, how many times did they vote there, Tina? Like 9 times to put him in the House Speaker position?
15.
He said he was going to release that video footage, and we want it now, Kevin McCarthy. We want you to shut down the FBI. You know they're corrupting our investigations. You know they're investigating one side and one side only, and the other side gets let go scot-free, man. You need to defund it. You hold the purse strings to keep that operation going. You need to do something and stop talking and do some action, man. We're tired of the Republican game here. Tired of it. It's got to end. We've been stringing along. Ever the Trey Gowdy and the Benghazi hearings. Yeah, Hillary smashed her computers and erased her emails and stuff. 33,000 emails she had while Secretary of State. Trey Gowdy is right there investigating the whole thing. What happened? Nothing. Nothing happened on that. We're tired of this Republican show, man. Democrats, they go and they stir the bucket up, and the Republicans just talk about it all the time. We are tired of that. Republicans, you got to get your act together. You got to get on the fence or get off the fence with Trump right now. You know he's the only guy that's going to get anything done in this. And the elections are still rigged. You know, if we go through all this and they're still not taken care of, man. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court changed our election laws during COVID.
Did.
Illegally, like Stuart was saying. The legislature's supposed to do that. And the election was thrown in Pennsylvania. Then a year later, the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania decided to have a hearing on that, and they admitted they were not allowed to change the law there. But instead of correcting the problem, they said, "Oh, we just won't do that again." That is malarkey, folks. That is not a government that you want in charge of you. And if we don't have elections that are valid, that are truthful, we're never going to get these people out. That's how they stay in power. You think people are actually electing Nancy Pelosi? I don't think so, man. Who can honestly put her name on a voting ballot? I don't understand it. So we need action, folks. Lloyd Smucker, you're my guy, man. I've been calling you about J6. It's been 870 days now. When are you going to do something, man? These guys are still in jail without a trial, without bond. This is outrageous, man. I don't know how to put it politely anymore. You got to get off the fence, man. You're the guy we elected to do this, and you've done nothing on that, Lloyd Smucker. You got to get off the fence. Trump is our guy. MAGA is the Republican Party right now.
Amen.
You guys are delusional if you don't think so. So get off the fence, or you're going to get voted out, man. That's all there is to it.
They haven't called back out.
We got to get involved with our elections. We got to make sure. We got to watch our elections. You got to work on your elections. All of us work on elections here, just to make sure everything goes clean in our election processes. There's a guy, Howard Richardson. He was working his election in Bucks County, was it? Berks.
One of those counties down
Berks
there.
or Bucks County here in
Bucks,
Pennsylvania. He witnessed pickup truckloads of ballots coming into his the central counting area at 2:00 in the morning, and basically got kicked out of the place. And he was an election official.
He was a poll watcher.
So what happened to Howard Richardson? He went to J6 to protest the election. They arrested him, and now he's sitting in a jail 20 miles up the street here. They found him guilty. 72-year-old man when he somehow got in an altercation with a cop with a flagpole. And what did he get? 46 months in prison for that. 46 months in prison for a 72-year-old man. So it's outrageous. They just held him in solitary confinement for 8 weeks. Nobody knew where he was. His family didn't know where he was. The way these guys are getting treated in some of these jails are terrible. They're getting tortured. Their food is tainted. The living conditions are horrible. They don't have access to their families. They don't have access to religious services. Several of them still don't have access to bail. They're still waiting for a trial. Every once in a while, they come in and they take all their evidence for their upcoming court cases out of their cell. What are they supposed to do? They got lawyers that are talking them into taking plea bargains because every lawyer in D.C. is in on the game. Every lawyer in D.C. doesn't want to go against any of the judges.
It's calling out to me.
To block this call, you may begin speaking now.
Welcome. How are you doing today?
Hey, Daryl, how are you?
Hey, Daryl.
All right, I'm happy and I'm on it and I'm ready to go today. And I'm telling you, today has been a beautiful day at the beautiful Lewisburg Federal Penitentiary, and I wonder how it was over there at Norton. Guys, I gotta tell you, this is a blessing. I mean, to be able to sit back and to look at this country via the corporate media and see what's really going on, it's an amusement. I mean, you look at this country and you say, is that the president of the United States or what? I mean, come on. The president is lost. He's not fighting for the people. He's not fighting for the country. He's not even fighting to protect our own borders. We have a gap, and the gap is very small, and it's called Biden. Yes, it's Biden. But how are you people doing today? I'm glad the listeners are listening, and the people are just happy to hear us because us January 6ers are still here. We're still fighting for you, and we want the public to know that, you know, we love you as much as you love us. And we want you to always remember that as Americans, we must stand together.
Amen. Absolutely. And we do love you guys. We're thankful for you. We will stand by you as God gives us strength.
Oh, we pray every day. But, you know, today I want to talk about, you know, since we mentioned the corporate media, and I have an interesting take on it. And I was writing this today, and I was going to submit it as an article, but I said, you know, I'm just going to use it for the call-in show tonight because I think it's something that people need to understand. Since the beginning of printed material and distribution of said materials, business, or in terms that we're going to be talking about, corporations have been in charge of what journalists report and report on. This de facto business or corporations have always taken control over journalism, and once one decides to become a journalist, there are only two choices they have to make: to either join the corporate networks or become part of the independent. Corporate means mainstream, while independent means not corporate dictated.
Yep.
And the scary part about that is you have to think about the word corporation and not corporate dictated. Because here's the funny thing that we discover in modern time. Corporations are buying independents and using them as, what would they call them? Sub-corporations. Oh God, I can't remember the name of it. There was an entity title they gave it. When a corporation from the mainstream purchases a smaller independent corporation, the corporation still maintains the majority hold of the businesses, and they still control. But they, like most corporations, we have a plus side, a minus side, a left and a right, basically. And like most corporations, we have a plus side, a minus side, a left and a right, basically. And these corporations attempt to confuse us, the viewers, readers, writers. They could try to confuse us. I stand for one thing. I stand for the truth. And in all honesty, the truth is what should prevail in all situations. As I look at the news stories today, I'm amazed how journalists or those talking heads on television actually put I hate to say, put a little screwdriver in and twist the stories so much. And the interesting thing was that they tried to put a twist on a story about the 5 guys they had that were Proud Boys. They tried to say, yes, they were, as they stated, seditionists and all this. I'm like, how can they be seditionists when you're an American citizen?
True.
It doesn't add up. It doesn't go with the definition. So I just want the people to know that these people and these humans, let's classify it personally. These humans, these American humans, are out there going to trial today and staying in courtrooms and being in jails like this. We're fighting for something that we believe in, just like they believed back in the day at the Boston Tea Party. They believed that they didn't want to be taxed by England. They want to be under the British reign of control. They believed, so they fought against it. What is the difference between what happened on January 6th and what is happening back in those days for the Boston Tea Party?
That's right. It's the same thing.
Different venue, that's all.
This
Same
call
thing,
is from a federal prison.
Sorry, I came off with a little bit of fire today because I was a little upset by listening to mainstream media.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right, Daryl. That's all right.
You're aggravating.
So is there any questions you want to ask me? I mean, I'm happy to answer.
Daryl, I never spoke with you before. Are you here awaiting trial, or are you awaiting sentencing? Give us a quick update on your story. Your
Well,
situation.
for my story, I was a journalist. I owned Global Enlightenment Radio Network, blacksandwhite.us, and Late Night in the Midlands radio stations. Those networks are all owned by me. I was a journalist, portrayed myself as a journalist, even though I owned all 3 of them, to go down and report the news story, which was January 6th. I mean, I live in Washington, D.C. Why not go down there and cover the story? Because I've got tired of seeing the news put a spin, always saying Trump this, Trump that. I went to the Trump rally and I was at the Capitol. I was in the Capitol. I was a journalist in the Capitol. I saw the Associated Press. I saw NPR, and I saw what's the other newspaper that was there? There was a paper that was there.
Washington
I can't
Post?
remember. No, not the Washington Post. It was one of those leftist papers.
Huffington Post.
Tina said maybe the Huffington.
Huffington. Yeah, that's the name. Huffington. Yeah, I saw them there. And I would tell you, I was amazed that I'm the only one they arrested.
Yeah, that's pretty pitiful. I mean, that double standard. Yeah.
Oh, come on, double standard. I mean, excuse me, I'm a man of color. I am a journalist. I own my own businesses. I own my own publishing company. I am a 9 times celebrated author, 3 times New York Times bestseller, and I can't be a journalist. I can't be at the Trump rallies. I can't. This country's messed up. It's messed up from the ideological point of view where they actually stated that, people were all against Trump. No, they were not against Trump. I saw it firsthand. I was at the RNC conference downtown D.C. I did a report there too as well. I saw the street literally go crazy. And I saw the way they attacked senators and representatives of our investigation or attacking on a congressional officer or a member of Congress. What happened to that? I was there. I saw that. I was part of trying to stop a bomb from hitting one representative. The fact is simply that America has lost its values. It's lost its heart. It's lost its belief in God.
Oh, that's certainly true,
Yeah,
Daryl.
you got that right, Daryl. Oh man, that's our main problem.
And if we could go back in time, I would do two things. I'll make sure Joe Biden never runs for political office. And we have more people like Ronald Reagan. I give my man Ronald Reagan double R. I love him to death. I'm a definite Reaganite who's also turned to be a Trump fan.
Amen.
Because I love this man because he fights. He fights a good fight, and he's always in a good fight. And the thing is, he doesn't change his poise, he doesn't change his composure, and he doesn't change his attitude. And he will tell you, you're right, you're wrong, you're nasty or not. In this world so far, I've looked at it. I mean, I was in the military for 15 years. I did reserve another 6 years afterwards. I'm a Mason. I've done everything. I went to St. John College High School in Washington, D.C. Graduated PhD in psychology. I've done a lot. My first major was mass media, radio, television, and film at Howard University. I've done a lot. And for me to be in here right now, it upsets me. And it really upsets me to see these proud men in here that really stood up to the left and said, you can't push us around and you cannot make us bow down to you.
That's right.
It hurts me to see this. But you know something? We're all going to get out of this one day soon. We're all going to have the favors of the Lord upon us.
That's absolutely right.
Amen.
The fact that God has been missing in this whole Biden establishment is funny. I don't even see prayer. I don't see anything that deals with Christian values. It's all shot to hell. And I want it back. I want to see this country happy again. I want Easter to be Easter and Christmas to be a day where we had family gatherings, we had worship, we had song, we had cheer. This is what I want. This is the America I see. And it's going to come back. And it only can come back because Donald J. Trump Sr. is in office.
That's right.
And I believe that. But every day, people, I ask of you, every day, get on your knees and pray.
Amen.
I don't care what Lord you pray to, pray for this country. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's right. No, we're just saying amen. We pray to the Lord God.
Thank you. Because it's kind of hard for a man to cry in jail, but it hurts when you look at the life that this people, these gentlemen who stood up at January 6th, the way we have to be right now, the way we have to scrounge to get our voices heard, the way we have to shout to be seen on mainstream television. The only thing they care about is, oh yeah, there's another verdict. No, it's not another verdict. It's a bias. It's a lie. This is a fictitious form of government that's being an overlord upon the citizens of this country. The Declaration of Independence says we got our freedom. The U.S. Constitution said that the United States government is not going to impede upon our individual rights. That's the reason for the Constitution, so that the government could not supersede us, the citizen. I hate to say this, but I'm a rally for the people to say, stand for the Supreme Court. I got to say that. Stand for those good men that's sitting there that's trying to change what Biden has done, what the other ones before him have done that have corrupted the system. I wish right now, honestly, that we would have a religious man to run with Trump. Someone that we can actually say, yes, that's a good man of the cloth. We know he's a good man. I would love that. But, you know something? We got to get this country straight before we can do any of that. I mean, sometimes I think maybe we got to get the morals and the ethic codes correct, but to be honest, it's more than that. We got to get the finances of this country so that the people can eat.
Yes, yes.
And we got to get more than anything, we got to get the hearts of these Americans back on track. Go Trump 24. And we're getting ready to be cut off, but anything you want to ask, I can say it real quick.
Daryl, I messed with your bio. This is Tina. I'm very, very impressed with your bio. Just an incredible American, and I'm glad I've been able to talk to you tonight.
I think we lost. Shoot. But I think he heard that.
Good,
Yeah.
okay. That's an amazing bio, and to see his picture,
Yeah, I don't
You
know
would-
who he is. I don't
you
know.
would
I know.
not think that he has all this stuff in his background.
I know.
You would have any idea. He looks like, the guy from next door.
But he's a
And
reporter.
He
know?
he owned 3 broadcasting companies.
That's right.
He's had 15 years in the military.
Right.
He owned another business. It's just like incredible.
So there you have a patriot. He's a reporter. He's a journalist. He's an educated writer. He was
Yes.
there covering January 6th.
He's
They
published
threw
several
him in
books.
jail. How come they didn't throw the LA Times guy in jail, whose videos I can find on YouTube? How come they didn't throw
Huffington Post
the
people.
Huffington Post guy in jail who followed everyone into the Capitol and
Associated
filmed
Press.
it all? Because they were probably paid to be there. Because the whole thing was a setup, folks. You spend 2 hours looking into this, you're going to find that.
Monitoring at any time.
Do you want to take this one?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Press 5 to block this.
I'll take the next one.
Now.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Barry.
How's it
Barry
going?
Ramey.
Good. How about yourself tonight?
Just living the dream here in USP Lewisburg.
God bless you, man.
Hanging out and having fun, man.
Well, it could be worse. Thankfully, it's not a nightmare.
Yeah, we're out of Northern Neck, so we thank our lucky stars for that.
Yeah.
So, how many listeners you got on the live stream tonight?
Live stream?
My
Oh,
live
I
stream
don't
is
know.
new. I've only got 10. We had some problems. How many listeners do you have, Rebecca? We've actually got 2 going out here. Rebecca's got near 100 going out, but she's the experienced streamer. We're
Yeah, we love Rebecca. We know about her all very well. It'd be nice to meet her one day and thank her for all her hard work and help and dedication. So if I had a moment to talk to everyone, the listeners, I would hope that everyone's paying attention to what's going on with Congress and bringing into light the contents of the Hunter Biden's laptop and the involvement that Joe Biden has been in receiving all these malicious and fraudulent funds from other countries, using their political favors as a market. We watched in 2020 as Joe Biden got on stage and lied on multiple fronts, but one in particular was that the laptop was Russian disinformation, and it was a load of bull crap. And we now know that what was found on the laptop is 100% true. Just one more thing that the orange man with nasty tweets was right about. It's very important, America, if you're listening out there tonight, that you take the time to educate yourself about what was on that laptop. They did a poll shortly after when it was very clear that Twitter had censored the laptop story from the New York Post, that up to 50% of Biden voters, if they would have known about the contents of that laptop, they wouldn't have voted for Joe Biden. That alone is election interference. You owe it to yourselves and this country to educate yourself about the specifics of what was on that laptop, because one of the best parts about this culture war and this information war that we're in right now is that it does not have to be violent.
That's right. Yeah.
We the people can actually change the outcome by having civilized, patriotic, and peaceful conversations with moderates, the last remaining 15 real liberals out there, and people that are maybe conservatives that aren't really going for Trump because they've been misled by this communist Marxist media that we have that we're also fighting against. I recommend highly that if you want to put all this information in one little easy to read, easy to follow book, you stop what you're doing right now, order Miranda Devine's A Laptop from Hell. It's a very thin, very easy book, very comprehensible book. It'll explain everything that's in that laptop. And if you're able to have these conversations over the next 8 months with people and show them what was on there and what was lied about, you can turn the tides. You can turn the tides and tip the scales in our favor, because the truth will always win. The truth will always come out. No matter what you say and what you do, no matter even all of us, any of us J6ers that have been dishonest about who we are as people and what our intentions were that day, as you're also seeing, they come to fruition, they come to light. People are now realizing that, there was some bad actors in that group, the things that we've always been saying since the beginning. And I forget who quoted this, but it's a great quote, and I love it to death. Is a lie will make it around the world twice before the truth gets up and even gets shoes tied.
I've heard that. That is excellent. Yeah.
And that's what we're dealing with right now. So America, please get online, order a copy of that book, preferably not from Amazon, because screw Amazon.
Yeah.
But do whatever you got to do. Get a copy of that book. Buy a copy for a friend. Miranda Devine, The Laptop from Hell. It's very easy to read. Educate yourself, because James Comer, Jim Jordan, and many others, Byron Donald from the state of Florida, who I love, the guy's awesome. They're bringing this to light. And the reason why the DOJ doesn't prosecute, and the reason why we say, oh, well, we know the truth, they don't do anything about it. They don't do anything about it because majority of Americans don't take the time to educate themselves and make demands. You can only make demands on well-informed decisions when you have to be well-informed to do that. So inform yourself, get that book, and I'm telling you, you're going to see the Biden family, everything they pointed their finger at Trump and said, which was lies, they're responsible, and they're doing it right now.
They always do that. They always accuse you of what they're doing. It's just it's amazing the depth of evil.
You're absolutely right, and it's one, and this is no joke. You can look this up as well. That is Stalin 101. Whatever you are guilty of, blame your opponent of.
This call is from a federal prison.
So yeah, blame your opponent first, whatever you are guilty of, and when they have the media on their side, and these Marxist journalists such as Joy Reid and Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo and all these Keith Olbermann SOBs, when they have the media on their side that are able to dictate, manipulate the people into believing that what they see with their eyes is all there is to see, then a majority of these sheep will laugh in the face of anything that explains the bigger picture, and that's what they're doing right now. And it's up to we the people, to educate yourself on what's going on. And I'm telling you, that little short book from Miranda Devine will explain everything and arm you with the knowledge you need to have civilized, educated, constructive debates with people when you're out there on the election battlefield of 2023 to 2024.
I will check that book out. And sadly, some people's minds are made up. But if there's one whose mind we can change, that's one more warrior on the side of truth. Yeah.
Absolutely, and you're going to see, there's a group of people that are predominantly apolitical that maybe are frustrated with the whole Biden and Trump thing, and maybe have bought into the false narrative surrounding January 6th, bought into the false narratives around the laptop, and if you can have civilized conversations with them, welcome them over to our side with open arms, you'd be surprised how many people might come over and tip the scales.
That's
in the
right.
favor of America.
Yeah, civil dialogue, humility. It goes a long way. And like you said, not just no violence, but no intimidation, no name calling, none of that stupid. You know, it doesn't get us anywhere. Yeah.
Screaming at everyone, calling them racist, bigots, and fascist. Those people that have done that, partake of that behavior, they're actually running out of steam. People are tired of listening to it. They don't care anymore.
It burns you out real quick. Both the doer and the hearer.
Yeah, me in 2016. Oh man, don't call me a racist. I'm not a racist. Me in 2023. You're a racist. So what? Who cares? Next. You know. So it's ridiculous. You don't even start to hear it anymore. That's what we have to our advantage to see the difference. And I'll tell you something else that we need to start doing as conservatives, as right-leaning independents, as even centrist Republicans. We got to start knowing that there's a difference between liberals and leftists. Progressive leftists are a problem. They're a cancer, and they need to go. But there's some liberals out there that we may not agree on everything, but real liberals respect free speech, even if they don't agree with it. Real liberals will actually listen and change their mind and admit they're wrong. Now they're a last of a dying breed, but so are us proud conservative Americans. We're a last of a dying breed too, and progressive leftists are a common enemy. So learning to separate the two between a liberal and a leftist is something we need to work on as conservatives as well. But with that, I digress. Again, Miranda Devine's book, The Laptop from Hell, simple way to educate yourself on what's going on. They recently came out that the CIA, with their letter that was written on behalf of Joe Biden, the 51 intelligence agencies that Joe loved to cling to during the debate in 2020, we now see a CIA whistleblower that was saying, hey, we were coerced into do that by the Biden administration. So more and more is coming to light. Trump was right about everything when it comes to that laptop. And definitely, ladies and gentlemen, arm yourselves with knowledge, learn what's going on there, and support your Congresses. They're making a real attempt, I believe, to bring this to light to the American people.
Amen. Yes, they are.
All right. Well, with that, I'm going to get ready to get off and have Rob the Lego Man Morris, the infamous himself. So if anybody out there would like to stay in touch with me along my journey, my sentencing is going to be June 1st. You can find me and get a hold of me by way of my amazing, supportive, and beautiful fiance on Truth Social or Twitter at Osprey_Sensei. I have some astounding legal fees piling up, and I might be challenging one of my charges in the appellate court, looking for an appellate attorney. If anybody out there would like to support me, you can do that at givesendgo.com/Barry Ramey, R-A-M-E-Y. I love all you guys. What you guys have done for us over this amount of time by standing out there and giving us this platform to be heard and talk, the moral structure we have grown from you out there standing for us has been immense. And please never take lightly what you guys have done for us by being out there. We're very grateful, and you all are the epitome of real, true Americans. And I feel blessed to share this country with all of you. God bless you all.
God bless you, Barry. That
Barry.
feeling's coming right back at you.
Absolutely, sir. God bless the USA. Don't ever give up on this country, y'all. Take care.
Amen. Good night.
Amen.
Cheers.
I just got word that David on Freedom Express Media, we're on his Rumble feed right now, and he's got, I think, 91 people watching on there. I don't know, David, if I can find you on YouTube or not, though. Somehow your subscription got deleted from my subscription list. So, but I found you on Rumble. There is a chat going on Rumble right now on Freedom Express Media. If you can find it on there, that's another outlet. So we got 200 people watching this right now that I know of, and there may be other people restreaming this, or
You can do that?
we'll watch it later.
Oh, yeah.
After we're done here, it will be posted. After a day, you'll be able to see the live chat that went on here. You got to subscribe to the channel to get in on the chat. The chat is half of it. The chat is where it's at on these live feeds. You can have dialogue with other people that are watching the same video. I'm kind of new to the whole YouTube thing, so it took me a while to figure all that out. But you get to, and there are mods on the chats that are also divulging information. As like Barry was talking about that, we had a mod putting on the info on the book by Miranda Devine.
Hey, how's it going?
All right.
This is your friendly neighborhood Lego man signing on. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
What's up, Robert?
Good to hear you.
Hey, good to hear you too. I'd like to start out, as anyone should, by thanking you guys, you incredible people out there. I'd like to thank Roy for volunteering to facilitate the vigil this evening. I would also like to thank Flag Waving Steve and Rebecca for live streaming tonight's event. And I'd also like to highlight Rebecca. Thank you so much for coming all the way out from Virginia to be here tonight. You're incredible. And I really appreciate the door that you open up to such a prideful and loyal demographic of Americans, proud, patriotic Americans, that without your help, we never would be able to speak to. I'd also like to thank Tina for her support and presence this evening. You're incredible. And additionally, I would like to thank Diane and Laura Kozak for their help with tonight's production and volunteering their time to make this happen. And finally, I would like to give a shout out to old Tammy for all the great work she has done in the past, week after week, for the Lewisburg Vigil. Thank you, Tammy, and my heart goes out to you. All right, so let's do this. So the current book I'm reading is called The Marketing of Evil by David Kuplain. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, so I apologize if I screwed that up. But I highly recommend you guys get it and read it cover to cover. This was written in 2009, so I can only imagine what David Kuplain is thinking now. But the book is called The Marketing of Evil, and it's an excellently sobering expose of how our nation is being corrupted from within. Mostly from our deferment from our reliance on our Creator. There's a quote, actually, that I might not recite correctly, but it's by Abraham Lincoln, which I believe reads along the lines of, quote, "There is no nation on earth with the strength to invade our country and take a drink from the Ohio River. Should this nation die, it shall be by suicide," end quote. I do believe that this nation is on the decline because of our broken and absent relationship with God, implemented deliberately by the social and legal puppeteers of our land to sever all ties and understanding of our awesome God and the sacrifice his son, Jesus Christ, made on our behalf. David Kuplain, in the book Marketing of Evil, writes this in the second chapter of his book, and I quote, "So let me ask, in allowing the First Amendment to be changed from its original meaning to what it has become today, namely the prohibition of any acknowledgement of God or his laws inside the schools where most American children spend their youth, do you realize what we're doing? Similarly, in making any reference to God or biblical principles off limits for those we've entrusted with running this nation's government and charting its future course, do you realize what we're doing? We are deluding ourselves into believing there is some neutral ground between good and evil, and that this is where the government is supposed to be. But such a neutral ground, if such can even be said to exist, is in itself evil. When Jews are being gassed and cremated down the street, neutrality is not neutral, it's collaboration. When we realize that the Creator has stationed us on this earth in a battleground between a good and an evil one, and that our real choice in life is between obedience to divine love or disobedience, between honesty and dishonesty, nobility and shallowness, selflessness and selfishness, courage and cowardice, we see there really is no neutral ground. Thus, if government is not populated by godly, principled people, we are doomed to live as glorified serfs. Why? Because true religion and its fruits, love of truth and of one another, constitute a powerful force working against the natural tendency of power to corrupt. To put it in another way, without having a real relationship with the living God, men automatically become their own gods, lowercase g, end quote.
That is true.
That pathetic false god in turn owes his allegiance to dark forces he doesn't recognize nor comprehend. And if he's in a position of power, he is compelled to become a demagogue or a tyrant. What we're witnessing is the official, ever so gradual squeezing out of everything that's really precious to America. It's as though we're throwing away something so valuable that it goes almost beyond the ability of words to convey. We're taking the finest life has to offer, like the most precious memories of our children, of their birth, of their accomplishments, and we're taking the sacrifices of our soldiers, of our patriots, our nation's martyrs, and we're junking them. Think of the Puritans who braved the 2-month sea voyage.
This call is from a federal prison.
An unknown land and lost 1/2 of their number during that first brutal winter. And the loyal patriot soldiers with George Washington at Valley Forge, shivering, shoeless, and miserable in the snow. Think of the deaths and sufferings of the millions of Americans lost or maimed in war during the last 2 centuries. Ponder as well the tremendous sacrifices of their families. Now think of the sustaining role God, faith, prayer, and the Bible had in the lives of all of these people. If we really have been convinced that our Constitution, conceived, written, believed in, fought for, and died for overwhelmingly by Christians and God-fearing people, requires that the Christian faith be taken out of government, then there's really no hope for us as a nation. But I don't think we've all bought that big lie.
No.
End quote. And if you ask me, that's where you, ladies and gentlemen, come in. It's the people of America. The last vestige of hope for life, liberty, and property lies within the American people, as it has all along, as our preamble to the Constitution clearly states that I've referenced a couple of vigils ago. And as every God-fearing American has shown us with his or her selfless, sacrificial example. Speaking of sacrificial examples, I would like to read to you now a speech that every American should recognize and cherish. It was given just down the road from where I am currently held prisoner at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Forgive me if my voice cracks. I seldom finish our president's words without tears. 87 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, asking whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a resting place. Those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. Altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate. We cannot consecrate. Cannot hollow this ground. The brave men living and dead who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they fought here, have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead, we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here rightly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall give a new birth of freedom, that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. The Gettysburg Address by Abraham Lincoln on November 19th, 1863. Ladies and gentlemen, every choice we make matters. The example we leave for our children matters, and our faith, hope, and love in one another and our Father in heaven matters. Please, on behalf of me, my fellow political prisoners, and those honored dead, please go make our ancestors proud with your next decision. Show our fathers that they didn't sacrifice everything they loved for nothing. My last 2 points that I'd like to bring up, speaking of Gettysburg, I wanted to include.
This call is from a federal prison.
Wanted to include that hollowed field with the help of my fantastic paint crew in a scene from Gettysburg in the mural that I've talked about every Legion, or every Vigil, excuse me, at the American Legion Post 150, Petersburg, Pennsylvania. That scene of Gettysburg is one of the 10 in the mural left for you to enjoy. Remember how much has been paid on our behalf to be free. Please take some time to check out the mural, maybe even grab a beer and make a new friend at the Petersburg, Pennsylvania American Legion Post 150, just 2 hours away from the Lewisburg prison. Tell them the Lego Man sent you. But if that's too far of a drive for you, I get it, I understand. You can always check out the Legion and the mural that me and my team left there at the website called thegreatwarsmural.godaddysites.org. Thank you for your compassion, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for giving me the chance to regain my composure. Finally, I could use your prayers because in 11 days I gotta face the music. I will be sentenced. If anyone would like to come and support, I know that my poor mother would really appreciate it. She's been through a lot these last few years. I am getting sentenced on the 24th of May at 10 a.m. in the D.C. courthouse. But once again, if that's too far of a drive for you, I could use a prayer. I know that God listens to all of us, and the prayer of a righteous man is powerful indeed. Thank you for all of your enduring love and support. You guys have no idea how inspiring it is to know that there's people outside of our walls that help and want to spread the message. So thank you for all of you. Matters so much to us. You give us hope for a bright future. Remember that all it takes for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing. And remember that you are not descended from fearful men. Stay tuned for the national anthem live from the Lewisburg prison. This has been your friendly neighborhood Lego man. Thank you for all your time and love. God bless you guys. I can't wait to see you in person. And thank you for being out there tonight.
God bless
You're
you,
welcome,
man.
Robert. God bless you.
Thanks for that message.
Hey, thank you guys very much. God bless you too. We'll be preparing our voices in the interim. Get ready because we got a beautiful song to sing you guys. All right, Lego Man, signing off. God bless you guys.
God bless you too, Robert.
See ya.
All right.
That's what confuses me. The call comes in from DC. It's DC.
Yeah, because it's federal.
It's federal. I didn't pick up a couple times this weekend.
Yeah.
But now I know. I thought it was a scam. Tell them.
Can I say a couple words?
Oh, sure. Sorry, Steve. Go right ahead.
All right, we're standing here with these guys who've been convicted, but on January 6th, there were 4 people that were murdered at the Capitol. Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boylan, Kevin Greason, and Benjamin Phillips. And a police officer died the next day. His name was Brian Sicknick. At the time, the mainstream media told us that Brian Sicknick was hit in the head with a fire extinguisher. That's not true. Another lie that the mainstream media has told you. Brian Sicknick was suffering from a stroke, and a lot of the J6ers were trained medics. They made the police aware that this man was having symptoms of a stroke, and they did not render him aid. And the next day he died. So once again, you can see that the mainstream media lies to you. They had a funeral procession through DC, and another lie. All right, we got another phone call.
You may begin speaking now.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, Daniel.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, how's everyone? Everyone hanging in?
Yes. How are you?
Clear.
Good. All right. So I was the first, and it's gonna be the last call of the night.
Right.
We're about to get locked down. Okay, guys?
Yes.
So all right. So I got a little something for you to read. I got a little something for me to read. I'm a little nervous. Excuse me. All right. All right. You guys ready? All right. So at the Battle of Fort McHenry during the War of 1812, Francis Scott Key was a prisoner aboard a British naval vessel which was engaged in a violent combat by the American Fort Watery Edge in the state of Maryland. As a prisoner, he witnessed the long night's barrage of that fort, being assaulted and bombed from every angle, slowly falling to pieces due to the relentless munitions of the invading British from twilight flash gleaming until the dawn began to return. As the sun started to re-illuminate the desecrated fort, the author of our national anthem was inspired to put pen to paper and record how, through the hellacious night's battle, because of the rocket's red glare and the bombs bursting in air, that was not only was the American flag remaining upright throughout the carnage, but at the our flag was still there.
You see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, by the twilight's flash gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. But the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. USA! 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 USA!
Let's go, Brandon. Don't forget that.
Woo! Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, Daniel.
All right, everybody. You have a great night. Thank you for supporting us. All your prayers, all your love.
You're welcome.
The letters. Yeah, thank you for everything. It goes a long way in here. The commentary, everything that you guys do for us. We appreciate not being forgotten about, and we love you all for that very, very much. Thank you so much for everything.
Daniel, it's Tina. I have a question. Are you going to be around next week?
I think so. I don't know.
Okay, because I have a letter. I have a letter to put out to you. So should I go ahead and send it? You think?
It's a good question. I would send it, and they might send it back. They did tell me to pack out the other day, but I did move my sentencing date to August, so I don't suspect that I should be leaving. But there is some miscommunication sometimes with the marshals and the courts and everything. So I don't know. I shouldn't be leaving. So.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and send it then.
And good luck.
Thank you.
You're running for school board, right?
Yes, I am. Tuesday's a big day.
Yeah, we gotta come out and support you, everybody.
Yes.
And anybody who's in the DC area,
This call is from a federal prison.
we got Stuart Rhodes, we got Kelly Meggs, we got some really good patriots that are there. If you have an opportunity to go out there and support them when they get sentenced, guys. So they're great guys, and I don't know if they got a fair trial or not, but they can use your support if you're available out there. Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So Daniel, I just asked that you guys would pray for me next 2 or 3 nights, that God just really intervenes and I do make it on the ballot.
Absolutely, we absolutely will.
Thank you.
For everybody, yeah. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Yeah, God bless you too.
Keep praying. Yeah, keep praying, everybody. It's working. We need to pray for those in authority.
That's right. Yep.
Man.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Love you guys.
Love you guys. Until next week. Bye.
Yes. Bye-bye. I'll go ahead and send my letter then.
Yeah. All right.
You did it.
We did it.
Again.
It worked.
I don't know why I kept cutting
Glory
out on the
to
national
God.
anthem.
It's done that
I don't know
before.
why I kept cutting out on the national anthem.
I don't know either.
It kept cutting in and
I
out,
don't
in and
know.
out.
Yeah,
I thought
the
maybe it's
one time
because
we
I'm
have a-
singing too loud, but then
No, that wasn't
you
the
know,
reason.
I didn't
Yeah.
think so. So
Well, like, share, and subscribe.
yes,
We'll be here next Saturday.
yes, we will.
I think it worked better towards.
Every Saturday, God willing.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Yes, good night. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get better next week. We'll work on the details. Thank God Rebecca was here this week. Helped us a
Yeah.
lot.
What
So,
happened
good night,
without
everyone.
Rebecca?
Thank you all your patience. Spend a good night with us.